ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। मम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकाय चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले सोऽयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति सोपरन्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवं च। श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सागनसे रघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवं सद्वैतं सवधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं राधाकृष्णपदं सगणललितां श्रीविशाखान्वितं च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषावानुसुत देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। मंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुवैव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यः वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमति भक्ति वेदांत समिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So we are continuing with the teaching of Lord Chaitanya. So we will be discussing today about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, teaching of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, chapter 8, avatars, incarnations. So in Brahma Samhita we understand that Advaitam Achyutam Anadir Anantarupam. Lord has Ananta, innumerable forms which cannot be countless. It's like a waves in the rivulets. It's stated in this beautiful verses in Canto 1 that it is like a waves in the rivulets. That much of incarnation of the Lord. Avatara hi asankhya hare sattva nidirdijya. Avatara hi asankhya. So the Lord, O Brahmana, the incarnation of the Lord are innumerable, like a rivulet flowing from inexhaustible source of water. So we cannot count the number of incarnation His Lord. So therefore, today we will be knowing different avatara, the especially different category of avatars. So it is stated here that Lord Avatara has been broadly categorized into 6 types. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lord explained to the Sanātana Gosvāmī in the at Varanasi that there are 6 kind of incarnation is there, 6 category of incarnation or 6 type of incarnation. What are the things? Avatara hoye Krishnera sadavida prakara, Purusha avatara eka, Lila avatara ara. So Lord said that these are 6 type of incarnation of Krishna avatar, or compromises incarnation of Vishnu, Purusha avatara, and another comprise the incarnation meant for the performance of the pastime. There are 6 kind of avatar is there. So then there is Guna avatars. There are incarnations that control the material quality, Guna avatara, incarnation associated with the reign of each Manu, Manvantara avatara, incarnation in different millennium, Juga avatara, the incarnation of empowered living entity. There are 6 kind of incarnation of the Lord. So when we say avatara, avatara means those who are avatarana, who descends from the spiritual sky. That is called avatar. That is stated that avatar, the meaning of avatar is when the Lord descends from the Vaikuntha spiritual world to the material world. So here it is stated that the form of the Lord that descends into material world to create is called avatar or incarnation. So Lord descends from the spiritual sky in his different form, innumerable form. So there is no difference between this form and the original Lord. They're non-different. They are all equal in power and everything. So it is stated again, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continue to understand that all this expansion of Lord Krishna are actually resident of spiritual world. But when they descend into the material world, they are called incarnation, avatar. So everybody is from the residence of Vaikuntha Loka spiritual world. So then when descends, that is called avatar. Descends in the material world. But when they descend, they are not contaminated from the material world, contaminated by the material world or material nature. Just like in a jail, superintendent of the jail also there. That does not mean that the superintendent of the jail also a culprit or a criminal. No. Similarly, when Lord descends or incarnates, he comes, but he is unaffected by these modes of material nature. So that is the understanding that. So now we will go through each avatars and what are the significance of the avatar, what is the function of that avatar. So we will have a clear ideas of that. So I can show you the slides prepared. So here you can see this little bit of overview of this Krishna Swarupa, the transcendental form. As we discussed in the last class that Krishna has three kind of forms: Soyam Rupa, Tadekatmaka Rupa, and Avesa Rupa or Saktavesa Avatar. So in this way, Lord has three type of and in this way we have the Tadekatmaka Rupa, which is equal to the Lord, but little bit of feature is different and the mood is different. So it is Bilasa Rupa, where all the Chaturbuja, Padimna, Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Padunna, and Aniruddha, so and so forth, Narayana, etc. And another is called Vaibhava Rupa. In Bilasa Rupa also Prabhava and Vaibhava is there. And Sonsa is also, Sonsa Rupa is there. In Sonsa Rupa, it has got six category of avatar, 6 type of incarnation. So this 6 type of incarnation is, as you know, the Purusha avatar, Lila avatar, Guna avatar, Juga avatar, Manmantra avatar, Saktavesa avatar. And this today we will going to discuss about all the avatar. First we start with Purusha avatar. In Purusha avatar, we have Mahavishnu or Karanadikkhasai Vishnu, Garbhadakkhasai Vishnu, and Kshirodakkhasai Vishnu. There are 3 Purusha avatars there for the creation actually. So we will going to learn this 3 Purusha avatara, the significance of this Purusha avatara. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stated very nicely that how this Purusha avatar is, how this material world is created, how Lord expands as a Mahavishnu and created all these ingredients and all the things. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is continuing that Purusha avatara to glance over the material energy and empower her. Lord Sankarsana first incarnates as Lord Mahavishnu. And Lord Sankarsana, which is the expansion of the Lord Krishna, expansion of actually Balaram, and Balaram is the expansion of Krishna. So this Sankarsana, he expands again to the Mahavishnu, or incarnates as the Lord Mahavishnu to create this material energy. In the beginning of the creation, the Lord expanded himself in the form of Purusha incarnation, accompanied by the all ingredient of material creation. First, he created 16 principal energy suitable for creation. This was for the purpose of manifesting material universe. So, how the material universe is created? So, Lord expands as a Mahavishnu, and from Mahavishnu, he created the 16 principal energy suitable for creation. 16 principal energies are also given in the third chapter. So what are the 16 principal energy? Karanadakasai Vishnu, Mahavishnu is the first incarnation of the Supreme Lord. He is the master of eternal time, space, cause and effect, the mind and the element, the material ego, the modes of material nature, the senses, universal form of the Lord. Garbhadakasai Vishnu and the sum total of all living being, both moving and non-moving. So all these elements has been created by the all the elements are created so that Mahavishnu creates the material universe. The original personality of Godhead named Sankarsana first lies down in the Biraja river, which serves as a border between material and spiritual world. As a Karan Dakasai Vishnu, he is the original cause of materials creation. So his name is Karana because he is the original cause of the material creation. And that ocean also called causal oceans, and the Biraja river, which is the border, between the material world and spiritual world. One shore is the material sky, and another shore is the spiritual sky. So whole our ultimate goal is to go to the another source, that is spiritual sky. Biraja or causal ocean called Biraja river is the border between spiritual and material world. The material energy is situated on one shore of that ocean, and it cannot enter into other shore, which is spiritual sky. In the spiritual world, there is neither a mode of passion, mode of ignorance, or mixture of both, nor is there adulterated goodness, influence of time or Maya herself. Only the pure devotee of the Lord, who are worshipped both by demigods, by demons, reside in the spiritual world as the Lord's associate. So, spiritual world is not contaminated by Maya. Maya has no effect in spiritual world, nor the time factor. There's no time. So, and also the pure devotees, they stay there. This intimate associate of the Lord, eternal associate of the Lord. So they stay in the spiritual world. Maya has two functions. One is called Maya, other is called Pradhana. Maya refers to the efficient cause, and Pradhana refers to the ingredient that creates a cosmic manifestation. So Maya has two functions. What is the two functions? Maya and Pradhana. Maya means like a gross form. It's creation. We say creation, everything, that is gross. But the ingredients for creating all these 16 ingredients, false ego, modes of material natures, so and so forth, they are called Pradhana ingredients. Supposing just like a cement, brick, sand, these are called Pradhana. To build a house, we need some ingredient. And the house itself called Maya, the material creation. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead glances over material energy, she becomes agitated. At that time, Lord injects original semen of the living entity. That is stated how it is. By just sakshata, simply by glancing over this material energy, this is pregnanted. This is pregnant. I mean, the material nature is created just by the glancing. So Lord has so potent, it doesn't need to, like ordinary person, we have to have some physicality in order to procreate, but Lord does not need that. Angani jasya sakalendra vritimanti paschanti yanti. So every anga, every limbs are interchangeable. So he can do by seeing also. He can eat also by seeing. That is the potency of the Lord. So simply by seeing, glancing over the material energy, so Lord, she become agitated. At that time, Lord inject the original semen in the living entity. So all this living entity had been created in this process. To impregnate with seeds of living entities, Lord himself does not directly touch the material energy, but by his specific functional expansion, touches the material energy. Thus, the living entity who are his part and parcel and impregnated into material nature. He specifically, because Lord does not in touch with material energy personally, but his specific functional expansion, he does all the things. See, here it is Prabhupada stated, he is the Lord Shiva. So here it is said that the word Swanga Visheshava Srupa, indicating form by which the Lord begets living entity in the material world, is explained herein. Is the Lord Shiva. Lord does not directly in touch with the material energy, Maya. So, but its functional expansion, which is Lord Shiva. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated Lord Shiva, who is another form of Mahavishnu, this Sadasiva form, who is another form of Mahavishnu, is like a yogurt, is nothing but a milk, yet it is not milk. Similarly, Lord Shiva is considered father of the universe, and material nature is considered the mother. Father and mother are known as Lord Shiva and Goddess Durga. Together, Lord Shiva's genital and vagina of God Durga are worshipped at the Shiva Linga. This is the origin of material creation. That the Lord Shiva position is between that of living entity, that of Supreme Lord. In other words, Lord Shiva is neither the Supreme Personality of Godhead nor a living entity. He is the form through which the Supreme Lord works to beget living entity within this material world. As yogurt is prepared when milk is mixed with a culture, the form of Lord Shiva expands when Supreme Personality of Godhead is in touch with material nature. The impregnation of material nature by the Father Lord Shiva is wonderful because at one time innumerable living entities are conceived. Bhago jivasya vijñayeso chanatyaya kalpate. These living entities are very small. Keshara satabhagyasa satamsa sadrismakyaha. So here it is said that if you divide into the tip of the hair into 100 parts, then take one of the parts, divide it into again 100 parts. That very fine division is the size of soul. But one of the numberless living entity, they are called Chitkhyana. So in this way, so Lord Shiva is created. So Lord Vishnu, Mahavishnu himself does not come in contact with the Maya, but his functional incarnation is Sadasiva, which is the father of all living entity, and Maya called Durga Devi. They together they create everything. Because Lord does not touch with Maya, is beyond this material nature. At that time, beyond memory, after agitating the material nature into three qualities, Supreme Personality of Godhead placed the semen of innumerable living entity within the womb of that material nature. That material nature gave birth to a total material energy, and known as Hiranyamaya Mahatattva, the original symbolic representation of cosmic manifestation. This is also mentioned in the how they created by Lord in Kapila Deva to Devotee. In due course of time, the Supreme Personality of God and Vaikuntanath, by the agency of the expansion of his personal self, Mahavishnu, placed the seed of living entities within the womb of material nature. First, the total material energy is manifested. From this arise three types of egotism, which are original source from which all demigods controlling deity, sense, material element expand. So these are all the things how systematically it has been manifested. Combining all different elements, Supreme Lord created all the universe. Those universes are unlimited in number. There is no possibility of counting. Jasaika niswasita kalam athavalamba jivanti lama bilad jagadandanath. By excelling of the Mahavishnu, from the pore of the Lord's body, innumerable number, countless universes has been created. Simply by excelling. And simply by inhaling all that is being wind up, all this being completely destroyed or wind up. So that is the power of the Mahavishnu, which is just a part and parcel of the Krishna. Etachamsa Kalapurushna, Krishna to Bhagavan Swayam. So we understand the Supreme Lord Krishna, the power of the potency, inconceivable potency of the Lord. Just by breathing universal, that means the life of Brahma is just a excel of the Lord. In excel of the Lord, Brahma created. Inhale, Brahma is that. And Brahma duration is so high. 311 trillion year, 40 billions Earth year. That means the excel of Mahavishnu is 311 trillion and 40 billion years Earth year. From that calculation, we can understand how powerful the Supreme Personality of Godhead is. The first form of Vishnu is called Mahavishnu. He is the original creator of total material energy. The innumerable universe emanates from the pores of his body. These universes are understood to be floating in the air that Mahavishnu excels. They are like atomic particles that float in sunshine or pass through the holes of a screen. All these universes are thus created by the exhalation of Mahavishnu. When Mahavishnu inhales, they re-enter his body. The unlimited opulence of Mahavishnu are complex, completely beyond material conception. We cannot conceive that how simply by inhaling and exhaling, innumerable universes created and re-enter into his body. This is the Brahma Samhita verse Jasveka Nishwasita Kalam Athavalambe. So Mahavishnu is the super soul of all universe, lying on the causal ocean. He is the master of all material world. I have thus explained the truth, first personality of Mahavishnu. I shall now explain the glories of second personality of Godhead. So we can go to the Chaitanya Charitamrita, a teaching of Lord Chaitanya, to have a little summary study of all these forms. So he is teaching to Chaitanya unlimited forms of the Lord Avatara. This. So here, Srila Prabhupada has summarized these books, the essential philosophical aspect of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Here it is said that it is stated that predominating deity of each universe, Brahma, lives only during of one breath of Mahavishnu. Because Mahavishnu is the original super soul of all universe and the master of all universe. Second Vishnu incarnation called Garbhodakasai Vishnu. Garbhodakasai Vishnu enter each and every universe, spread the perspiration from his body, lies down on that water. So when Garbhodakasai Vishnu enter, he thought that there is no place to stay. So what he do? By his perspiration, half of the universe filled with water. On that water he is lying on the Sheshnag. Sheshnag is the Saktavesh avatar. From his navel grows the stem of the lotus flower. On that lotus flower, the first creature Brahma is born. So Brahma is born from the lotus flower of Garbhodakasai Vishnu. Within the stem of that lotus flower are 14 divisions of planetary system, which are created by Brahma in the form of Garbhodakasai Vishnu. So there is in this stem there is a 14 division, entire Brahmanda from Brahmaloko to Patala. There are 14 planetary systems. In the form of Garbhodakasai Vishnu, the Lord maintains each universe and tends to its needs. He is the maintainer of all the universe because he enters into each of the universe. Although he is within each material universe, the influence of material energy cannot touch him. When it is required, this very same Vishnu takes in the form of Lord Shiva, annihilate the cosmic creation. So he not only maintains also this material energy, which is the constitute of three modes of material nature. It does not influence the Vishnu, Garbhodakasai Vishnu. And then also he takes in order to destroy also, he takes in the form of Lord Shiva and annihilate the cosmic creation. The three secondary incarnations, Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, the predominating deity of three modes of material nature. This Guna Avatar. And the master of the universe. However, is Garbhodakasai Vishnu, who is worshipped as a Hiranyagarbha super soul. The Vedic hymn describes him as having 1,000 of heads. The master of the universe, how is the Garbhodakasai Vishnu, the master. Although the three Gunavatara, the mode of goodness is Vishnu, mode of passion is Brahma, and mode of ignorance, but Vishnu is the head. The third incarnation of Vishnu, called Kshirodakasai Vishnu, is the incarnation of the mode of goodness. He is also the super soul of all living entity. He is Paramatma. Ekapya Sorachaitam Jagadanda Koti Kittirati Jagadanda Chayandata Andantarasta Paramanu Chayantarastam Govindam Adipurusam. So Lord expands the Kshirodakasai Vishnu in every atom. Paramatma is every living entity. Sarvabhutanam Udesi Tishtati Arjuna. So Lord says Bhagavad Gita that every living entity, I am super soul, I am seated in their heart as the super soul. So he resides in the ocean of milk within the universe. Therefore his name is Khira, means milk ocean. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described Purusha Avatara. Lord Chaitanya next described the Lila Avatara, pastime of Avatara, and of those of these Lord pointed out there is no limit. Still he described some of them, for example, Matsya, Kurma, Raghunath, Narasimha, Vaman and Varaha. As far as Gunavatara, because there are so many Lila Avatara of Lord. You can go to the most prominent 24 principle incarnation has been given in Canto 1, Chapter 3. Also the Navajogendras, they are speaking to King Nimi in 11th Canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. There are avatars are there also. As far as Gunavataras or qualitative incarnation of Vishnu are concerned, there are three: Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Brahma is one of the living entity, but due to his devotional service is very powerful. Sometimes Brahma also called Saptavesha Avatara, but they are not direct, not Mukhya, indirect Saptavesha. Saptavesha also two types, direct, indirect. When Lord himself descends with certain power, he called Satya direct Satyavesa, like Rishabhadev, Kapil Dev, But when he empowered the living entities, just like Brahma, Prithu Maharaj, Narada empowered by devotional service, the Kumaras empowered by knowledge, they are called Satyavesa Avatar, but indirect. The primal living entity, master of the modes of material passion, is directly empowered by Garbhodakasai Vishnu to create innumerable living entity, living organism. So Brahma is the first living entity which is empowered. Lord say in Bhagavatam, Ena Brahma Hudaye Adikabhaya. So the Brahman knowledge has been given to the first Adikabhaya, means first living entity, to Brahma. So that Brahma is able to create all the innumerable living entity. In the Brahma Samhita, Brahma is likened the valuable jewel influenced by the rays of the sun. The Supreme Lord Garbhodakasai Vishnu is likened to the sun. If some kalpa there is no suitable living entity who can act in Brahma's capacity, Garbhodakasai Vishnu himself becomes Brahma and acts accordingly. Sometimes there is no candidate who can be the post of Brahma. So that time Brahma is a post, but that time the Lord himself become incarnate as Brahma and conduct the operation. Similarly, by expanding himself as the Lord Shiva, the Supreme Lord is engaged where there is a need to annihilate universe. Lord Shiva in association with Maya has many forms, which are generally numbered at 11. Rudra Sankhyaka. We say that Rudra is 11 type of Rudra. Lord Shiva is not one of the living entity. He is more or less Krishna himself. The example of milk and yogurt is often given in this regard. Yogurt is a preparation of milk, but still yogurt cannot be used as a milk. Similarly, Lord Shiva is an expansion of Krishna, but he cannot act like a Krishna, nor can he derive spiritual restoration from Lord Shiva that we derive from Krishna. The essential difference, see, that is the difference. Although Lord Shiva is more or less Krishna's expansion, but it's not a living entity also, but he cannot be like equal to the Lord Vishnu or Krishna. He is like a yogurt. Yogurt is a preparation from the milk, but you cannot derive the same thing what we derive from the milk. Therefore, Lord Shiva himself says that Mukti Pradayata Vishnu. Mukti Pradayata means I cannot give Mukti, only Vishnu can give. So, we cannot derive the spiritual restoration or going back to Godhead by Lord Shiva. The essential difference is that Lord Shiva has a connection with material nature, but Vishnu or Lord Krishna has nothing to do with material nature. In Srimad Bhagavatam 10.88.3, it is stated that Lord Shiva is a combination of three kinds of transformed consciousness known as Vaikarika, Taijasa, and Tamasa. Tamasa means mode of ignorance. So the Vishnu incarnation, although master of modes of goodness within each universe, there is no way in touch with the influence of material nature. Although the dominating deity of the mode of goodness is Vishnu, but he is not in touch. Narayana is always Narayana Parabhakta. It is stated in these verses also, 10.88.5, that Harihi Nirguna Sakhyat Purusha Prakate Paraha Sasarva Drig Upadrishta Tam Bhajana Nirgunna Bhavet. So Lord Hari, however, has no connection with material modes. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the all-seeing eternal witness who is the transcendental to material nature. One who worships him becomes similarly free from the material modes. So his nirguna means no material nature, material quality. He has spiritual quality, innumerable spiritual quality. So, but whosoever come in contact with the Lord or worship the Lord, he will also develop that qualities. He will be free from that modes of material nature. Although Vishnu is equal to Krishna, Krishna is the original source. Vishnu is a part, but Krishna is the whole. This is the verdict of Vedic literature. Brahma Samhita, see, etachamsa kalapumsa Krishna to Bhagavan Swayam. So as we have learned the Swayam Rupa, from Swayam Rupa is Krishna Govinda. Then from the Swayam Rupa also, Prabhava and Vaibhava, so many other different expansion has come from the Swayam Rupa. Balaram to Sankarsan, Sankarsan to Nab, the first quadruple Sankarsan, Padyumna, Aniruddha Vasudeva Sankarsan, Aniruddha Padyumna. Then again Narayan to second quadruple, then Mahavishnu, Vishnu. So in the way that Vishnu and Krishna are not different, but original Vishnu is Krishna. So Brahma Samhita also say that candle which lights the second candle, although candles are of equal power, but is still accepted as original. Other is said to be kindled from the original. Vishnu expansion is like a second candle. He is as powerful as Krishna, but original Vishnu is Krishna. Brahma and Lord Shiva are obedient servant of Supreme Lord. And Supreme Lord as Vishnu is the expansion of Krishna. So that is the understanding. Sometimes the particularly people from India, they have the misconception that Krishna is coming from the Vishnu. But here it is clearly stated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is nothing but a Supreme Lord himself. He has particularly said that how the Vishnu is the expansion of the Krishna, although no difference in terms of power, but original is original. Original Vishnu where is Krishna, where everything expands. After describing the Leela and Gunavatara to Sanātana Gosvāmī, Lord Chaitanya explained the Manvantara Avatara, incarnation associated with Manus. He first stated that there is no possibility of counting Manvantara Avatara. 14 Manu appears in one kalpa or day of Brahma. For each Manu, there is a Manvantara Avatara. See, there is a this is not only 14 Manu, just 14 Manu is one day means 12 hours, one day of Brahma, 14 Manu. 1 month of Brahma means 1 year of Brahma, then how much? And Brahma lives for 100 years. 500,000 40 Manus are there in one Brahma's creation. I mean, how much, if you calculate that so many creation has been happened, how many avatar of the Manvantara avatar? It is countless. Because Brahma day is 4.3 to 4,320,000,000. That is 12 hours of Brahma. And again same 12 hours night. In this way, he lives for 100 years. Brahma lives for 100 years on this scale. Thus, if 14 Manu appear in one day, Brahma, there are 420 Manus during 1 month of Brahma. And during 1 year of Brahma, there are 5,040 Manus. Since Brahma lives for 100 of his year, it is calculated that there are 504,000 Manus manifested during the lifetime of Brahma. Since there are innumerable universes, no one can imagine the totality of Manvantara. See, one universe, there are 500,400 Manus, entire Brahma life. And we have innumerable universe. Just you calculate into innumerable. It is innumerable. So the Manvantara Avatara is very, very innumerable. Only for one creation, one exhale and inhale of the Mahavishnu. That much of Manvantara we cannot create. What to speak about? There is so many breathing of the Mahavishnu. How many? I mean, it is inconceivable. We cannot calculate. Countless universes are produced by the exhalation of Mahavishnu. Thus, no one can begin to calculate how many Manus are existing at one time. It's very impossible to calculate. Each Manu is known by a different name. The first Manu is Swayambhuva and he is the direct son of Brahma. Second Manu is Saurachisa, the son of the dominating deity of fire. The third Manu is called Uttama and he is the son of King Priyavarta. Fourth Manu is Tamasa, the brother of Uttama. As is the fifth Manu, Raivata, The sixth Manu Chakshusa is the son of Chakshus. Seventh Manu Vaivasyatta is the son of sun god. This is the current Manu called Vaivasyatta, seventh Manu. That means in a day of Brahma there is 14 Manu. This is seventh Manu. Half of this times left. The eighth Manu is called Savarani. Savarni. He is also son of sun god, born of a wife named Chaya. Ninth Manu Daksha Savarani is the son of Varuna. The 10th Manu Brahma Savarani. Son of Upasloko. The four other Manus are Rudra Savarni, Dharma Savarni, Deva Savarni, Indra Savarni. After describing the Manu incarnation, Lord Chaitanya described the Yuga Avatara to Sanātana Gosvāmī. There are 4 Yugas or millennium. Satya, Tretya, Dwapara, Kali. In each millennium, Supreme Lord appears in an incarnation of a different color. In Satya Yuga, the color of principal incarnation is white. Lord comes as a white avatar. And he spoke to the Kadarma Muni. He gave benediction to Kardama Muni, who is the husband of Devut. Not only that, he blessed him to incarnate as his son, as a Kapiladev. In Tretya Yuga, the color is red. In Dwapara Yuga, black is Krishna. In the age of Kali, yellow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna, what is that? Tisho Krishna. Krishna Bandham Tisho Krishna Sangapangasta Prasadya. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is come as a yellow. Although Krishna is blackish, but he comes as a Channa Avatara. Prahlad Maharaj said that Channa Avatara means covered with yellow color. Therefore, it's Channa Avatar. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam 10.8.13. Astrologer Gargamuni, who calculated the Krishna's horoscope in the house of Nanda Maharaj. So he already described, if you go to these verses, Gargamuni, when he was in the naming ceremony, Gargamuni calculated, your son Krishna appears as an incarnation in every millennium. In the past, he assumed 3 different colors, white, red, yellow. Now he has appeared in a blackish color. In another Dwapara Yuga, he appeared as Lord Ramachandra in the color of Sukha, the parrot. All such incarnations have now assembled in Krishna. All the incarnation of the Lord assembled one place, that is Krishna's. Because when Lord is avatari, when he comes, all the incarnation also come. It may be noted that Srila Jiva Goswami in this book, Krishna Krama Sandarbha, has enunciated purport of this verse. In every millennium, Krishna appears in a different form, either as a white, red, yellow. But this time, he personally appeared in his original blackish form, as predicted by Gargamuni, exhibited the power of Narayana. So here, Krishna has a red, white, but personally he comes at a blackish form, because his original form, Sam Sundar. Because in this form, the Supreme Personality of Godhead exhibit himself fully. His name is Krishna, all attractive. Actually, Krishna is the source of all avatars. And therefore, all different features of different avatars are present in Krishna. When Krishna incarnates, all the features of other incarnations are already present within him. Other incarnations are partial representation of Krishna, who is the full-fledged incarnation of Supreme Being. It is to be understood that Supreme Being, whether appearing as Shukla, Rakta or Pita, white, red or yellow, in the same person. When he appears in different incarnation, he appears in different color, just like a sunshine which contains 7 colors. Sometimes the colors of sunshine are represented separately, otherwise the sunshine is observed mainly as a bright light. The different avatars such as Manamantra Avatara, Leela Avatara, Dasa Avatara are all included in the Krishna Avatara. When Krishna appears, all avatara appear with him. See, all avatara appeared along with the Krishna. In Satya Yuga, the process of self-realization was meditation. And this process was taught by white incarnation of the God. So in Kirtayad Hayate Vishnu, when Krishna came as a white incarnation in Satya Yuga, he was teaching about the meditation. Because people are very knowledgeable. So they directly go. But in Kali Yuga, people are not... this incarnation gave a benediction to Sage Kardama, by which he obtained an incarnation of personality of Godhead as his son, this Kapila. In Satya Yuga, everyone meditated on the Krishna. Each and every living entity was full of knowledge. In present days, Kali Yuga, people who are not in full of knowledge are still attempting to various meditative processes, not recommended for research. Sometimes we see that people coming to temple simply meditate like this. See, this is not recommended. In Kali Yuga, it is not practically possible also to meditate because we are disturbed. Little bit of message also, WhatsApp message, we get disturbed. Valmiki and Kardama Muni, they were meditating on the Vishnu for 60,000 years, 10,000 years. Kardama Muni. Valmiki did 60,000. They're full of knowledge, full of concentration. The mode of goodness, they were able to concentrate. But in this age of Kali, we are so fallen. We cannot do that. This is not the prescribed process, a recommended process. In the Tretya Yuga millennium, the process for self-realization was the performance of various sacrifices. Yajna, ghee, the Brahmanas are very efficient, very expert in chanting the mantra, Vedic mantra. This process was taught by the red incarnation of the God. In the Dwapara millennium, Krishna was personally present. The process of self-realization for everyone in that age was worshipping him. He was blackish in color. He was incarnation of Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. He induced people to worship him as stated in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Manmana Bhava Mada Bhakta Mada Jati Mama Namaskar. In Dwapara Yuga, Paricharayanam means worshipping of the Lord with so much opulence, extravagant, very extravagantly they worship the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord also demands or asked that Manamana Bhava Mada Bhakta Mada Jadi Mam Namaskaru. That was the process of self-realization. Srimad Bhagavatam also states that the Dwapara millennium people generally worship Supreme Lord Krishna by chanting the following mantra. Namaste Vasudevaya Namah Sankarsanasya Pradyumnaya Niruddhaya Tubhyam Bhagavate Namaha. Let me offer obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the forms of Vasudev, Sankarsan, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. In the next millennium, the present age of Kali, the Lord is Elo, and he teaches people the process of attaining love of Godhead by chanting the name of the Krishna. This process shown personally by Krishna in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He exhibits love of Godhead by chanting, singing, dancing with thousands of people following them. This particular incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is foretold in Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam, as I told you already, that King Navajogendra, one of the Navajogendra, he was speaking to King Nimi about the different incarnation, and he told, in the age of Kali, there is a prediction that Krishna Vanna Tisho Krishna, Lord will appear Tisho Krishna. He is Krishna, but not the completion of Krishna. Sangha Ponga Astra Pasada. Pasada means Jagyahi Sankirtana Prai Jajanti Sumedasa. In the age of Kali, Lord incarnates the devotee, always chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Although he is Krishna, his complexion is not blackish like Krishna in Dwapara Yuga, but is golden. He always engaged in preaching the love of Godhead through Sankirtan movement. Those who are intelligent adopt this process of self-realization. So in this age of Kali, Lord has appeared as a yellow color, Pitavanna, to induce people to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra or to propagate the Sankirtan movement. He comes along with associates. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gauratta. Sangha Punga Astra. His Astra is the chanting. Pasadya. All his associate. He comes along with that. And the intelligent class of people, they should worship in the age of Kali, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because we are, whatever the age we are in a kingdom, we should pray that king. We should worship that king. We should obey that king. Similarly, we are in age of Kali, we should worship the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because he comes as the incarnation of the Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam 12.352 also states, Kritaya dhayate Vishnu tatyayam jajate mukhya dvapare paricharayam kalu tadhari kirtanam. Self-realization achieved in the Satya millennium by meditation, in the Tretya millennium by the performance of different sacrifices. In the Dwapara millennium, by worship of Lord Krishna can be active in the age of Kali. Simply by chanting the holy name, Hare Krishna, this is confirmed in Vishnu Purana. Dhayan Kritya Yajna Jajna Sitattayam Dwapare Archayan Yad Apnoti Tad Apnoti Kalau Sankirtana Kesabam. Yad Apnoti Tad Apnoti. Whatever the result Satya Yuga people are getting by meditating for 1,000 of years on Vishnu, whatever the result people are getting by doing the Jagya sacrifice during Tatya Yuga, whatever the result, the output they are obtaining in Dwapara Yuga by extravagant, opulently worshipping the Lord, the same result, Tadapnoti Yadapnoti, Yadapnoti Tadapnoti, Kalu Sankritana Kesava, by doing the congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord, the same result we can get. So how? This is the what you say, this enormous mercy of the Lord. This is a concession in this age of Kali. By a simple and sublime method, we will achieve what the other people are getting by so much austerity, undergoing austerity, penance, sacrifices, so and so forth. In Kali Yuga, things are so sublime, and Lord is merciful. Namo Mahabhadanya Krishna Prema Padate Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Namine Guru Krishna Nama. To show his causeless mercy, Lord appeared at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and propagate a formula which is very simple and sublime, can be perpetrated, can be performed by anybody, from child to woman to everybody can be, howsoever one is fallen. But simply you have to open the mouth and vibrate this mantra, one can achieve the same result. Yad apnoti, tad apnoti. Same result we will get it. In the age of there is no use in meditation, performance of sacrifice, temple worship. Simply by chanting the holy name of Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One can achieve perfect self-realization. And Lord Chaitanya described the incarnation of this age of Kali. Sanātana Gosvāmī, who had been a government minister, was perfectly capable of drawing conclusion. Asked the Lord, how can one understand the advent of an incarnation? From the description of the incarnation for the Kali millennium, Sanātana Gosvāmī could understand that Lord Chaitanya himself was that incarnation of Krishna. And he could also understand that in the future many people could try to imitate Lord Chaitanya, because Lord had played as an ordinary Brahmana, though his devotee accepted him as an incarnation. Since Sanātana knew that there would be many pretenders, he asked the Lord, how can one understand the symptoms of an incarnation? So here, Sanātana Gosvāmī, knowing that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there, in the age of Kali, he is the avatar. But just to confirm, because the symptoms, how the incarnation can be ascertained, there has to be some symptoms. Just like I have a fever, I have some symptoms, like my body's temperature is high. Similarly, incarnation has got some symptoms. So he asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what is the symptoms of incarnation? As one can, otherwise people, impostor, they can pretend I am the incarnation. Breeding place. India is a breeding place of incarnation. Every city we have an incarnation of the God, without any authenticity, veracity of the symptoms. As one can understand the different incarnation for previous millennium by referring to the Vedic literature, the Lord replied, one can similarly understand who is actually the incarnation of Godhead in this age of Kali. So you have to refer the Vedic literature. Shastra is the center point to ascertain who is incarnation, who is a sadhu, who is not a sadhu. In this way, Lord especially stresses reference to authoritative scripture. In other words, one should not whimsically accept a person as an incarnation, but should try to understand the characteristic of an incarnation by referring to the scripture. So scripture is the central point. Sadhu, Shastra, Guru. Shastra is the central point to ascertain who is sadhu, who is guru. An incarnation of the Supreme Lord never declares herself to be an incarnation. Avatar nahi kahe ami avatar. Any incarnation, they do not claim that I am the incarnation. But his followers must ascertain who is an incarnation, who is pretender, by referring to authoritative scripture. That is the way to ascertain who is incarnation. Any intelligent person can understand the characteristic of real incarnation by understanding two kinds of features. Principal feature called personal characteristic, and the marginal feature comprising his activities. The two way of understanding. One is personal characteristic, and marginal characteristic is the comprising his activities. The scriptures describe both kind of feature. For example, the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, the feature of an incarnation are nicely described. In that verse, the two terms Parama, Supreme, Satyam are used. The Lord Chaitanya indicate that these were revealed Krishna's principal features. The other marginal feature are that he taught Vedic knowledge to Brahma and incarnated as Purusha Avatar to create cosmic manifestation. So in the first verses, it is said that Satyam Paramadimai. Vasudeva is giving a Mangalacharan to describe the characteristic of the Supreme Lord. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. Who is that Supreme Lord? The principal characteristic is that Satyam Paramadimai is the absolute truth. And second characteristic that yes, he imparted the knowledge to Vishnu and to Brahma, and also he is a Purusha Avatar, he created this cosmic manifestation. These are called marginal characteristics or his activities, we can say. These are occasionally feature manifested for some special purpose. One should be able to understand and distinguish the principal and marginal feature of an avatar. No one can declare himself as an incarnation without referring to these features. So these two features as a must. An intelligent man will not accept anyone as an avatar without studying the principal and marginal features. And Sanātana Gosvāmī tried to confirm the Lord Chaitanya's personal characteristic as being those of incarnation. For this age, Lord Chaitanya himself indirectly confirmed Sanātana's conclusion by simply saying, let us leave aside all the discussion, continue with description of Saktavesa Avatara. Sanātana Gosvāmī trying to confirm himself from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because your personal characteristic, my Lord, and your activities, they are completely in aligning with a symptoms of a incarnation. That means you are the incarnation. But Mahaprabhu avoided this, and he wanted to discuss about the Saktavesa Avatara. Lord then pointed out that there is no limit to the Saktavesa Avatara, but some can be mentioned as example. Saktavesa incarnation are two types, direct and indirect. When the Lord himself comes, he is called Sakhyal or direct, Satyavesa Avatara. And when he empowers the living entity to represent him, that living entity called as an indirect or Avesa incarnation. Indirect incarnation, which is empowering somebody, living entity. Example, indirect avatara are four Kumaras. They are empowered as a knowledge, empowered the knowledge to four Kumaras. Narada empowered by devotional service, bhakti. Prithu and Parsuram also empowered. These are actually living entity who are given some specific power by Supreme Personality of Godhead. When a specific opulence of Supreme Lord is invested in specific entities, they are called Avesa Avatara. The four Kumaras represent the Supreme Lord's opulence of knowledge. Narada represent devotional service of the Lord. Devotional service is also represented by Lord Chaitanya, who is considered the full of representation of devotional service. In the Brahma, the opulence of creative power is invested. King Purthu invested power of maintaining the living entity. Similarly, Parsuram, the power of killing evil elements is invested. As for Vibhuti, the special favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in the 10th canto, Bhagavad Gita, Lord says that the living entity who is especially powerful or beautiful should be known to be especially favored by Supreme Lord. That's the 1039. Krishna says, this is, what is that? My answer. In 1039, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, all these opulences, this is my answer. Example of direct and Sakhya Saktavesa Avatara are Sesa incarnation. Now Krishna is describing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is the direct Saktavesa Avatara? Like Ananta incarnation, power for sustaining all the planet are invested in Ananta. Sesa incarnation invested the power of serving the Supreme Lord. And Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu is lying down, and Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu also, Sesnag, is serving the Lord. After describing the Saktavesa incarnation, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to speak about the age of Supreme Lord. He said that Supreme Lord Krishna is always like 16-year-old boy. Navajauvanam cha. Every time is 16 years. And when he desired to descend to this universe, he first sends his father, mother, who are his devotee. Then he himself appears. All his activities, beginning with killing of Putana, demon, are displayed in innumerable universe, and there is no limit to them. Indeed, at every moment, at every second, his manifestation and various pastime are seen in different universe. Thus, his activity just like a waves of Ganga river. Ganges river. Just there is no limit to the flowing of the waves of Ganges. There is no suggestion of various different feature of Lord Krishna pastime in different universe. From childhood to childhood, he displays many pastime. Ultimately, he exhibits the rasa dance. It is said that all the pastime of Krishna are eternal. This is confirmed in every scripture. Generally, people cannot understand how Krishna performs his pastime. Lord Chaitanya clarified his by comparing the performance of his pastime to the orbit of the sun. According to a very important thing, that Krishna is Nitya Lila. Krishna incarnation, not that now Krishna came 5,000 years before and he exhibited this his pastime in Vrindavan. Now he is not there. That does not mean that this pastime is gone. No, this pastime is going on some other universe. Just like today, now what is the time? 6:17 p.m. Somewhere in the world, but it is not 4 p.m., but somewhere in the world is 4 p.m. Similarly, somewhere in the universe, this little lila is going on. That is more specifically, very minutely and very clearly explained by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, pastime of orbit of the sun. According to Vedic astrology calculation, the 24 hours of a day are divided into 60 dandas. Days are again divided into 3,600 palas. Sun disk can be perceived crossing the sky in steps of 60 palas each. That time of constituted danda. 8 danda make 1 prahara, and sun rises sets within 4 prahara. Similarly, prohar prahara constitute 1 night. After that, sun rises, and sun and the sun can be seen, and the sun can be seen in its movement to 3,600 palas. All the pastime of Krishna can be seen in any of the universe. So it is this technical word, but I will tell you in a time and second. Just like a sun, in a 24 hours, day and night, 12 hours, 12 hours. Every 12 hours, let's divide it into minutes. So when you divide it into minutes, 12 into 60. 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. Let's say 12 into 60. So all the minutes, everything. And again, it divides into 60. In this way, every second, the sun is passing. Sun is there. Then nowhere that sun is not there. So similarly, Krishna can be seen any of the universe. Any of the universe. At the same time. Some lila is going on. Lord Krishna remains in this universe for only 125 years, but all the pastime that period has exhibited in each and every universe. This pastime includes his appearance, activity in his boyhood, youth, his later pastime, including those at Dwaraka. Since all these pastime are present in one and or another myriad universe at any given time, they are called eternal. Just as the sun is eternally existing, although we see it rise and set, appear and disappear, according to our position on the earth. We thinking that, oh, this is sunrise, sunset, but somewhere is sunrise. Because our position, we cannot see the sun. Night, we cannot see the sun. That does not mean that sun is not there. So Krishna's pastime are eternally going on. Although we can see them in this particular universe only a certain interval. As stated earlier, Krishna abode is the supreme planet known as Goloka Vrindavan. By his will, this Goloka Vrindavan is manifested in this universe, in other universe as well. Like Krishna's name, fame, everything else directly connected to him. Goloka Vrindavan is absolute, is therefore equal to him. This is a very nice verse. Ananda Chinmaya Rasapati Tavistavi, Taviro Ijanupuru Nijarupataya Kalavi, Goloka Iva Nivasakti, Akhilatma Bhutam. So Lord expands for his personal enjoyment. To increase his enjoyment, he expands. They are in Goloka also, they are in the other places. So he manifests that Goloka in different universes. But the Lord is always in his supreme abode, Goloka Vrindavan. By his supreme will, his activities there are also manifested at particular places in innumerable universe. Wherever Krishna appears, he displays his 6 opulence. Sara Aishwarya Punya, Aishwarya Samagrasa Veera, Dasya, Sriya, Jnana Vairagya Chaitanya. So wherever the Lord comes, he is a Punna Avatara, Punna Bhagavan, with Sadoshara Bhagavan. So he appears in so many places, so many universes going on. Now also is going on his pastime. Somewhere Putana has been killed, some universes, Kesi demon, some universes, Rasalila, some universes, the pastime of pastime at Dwaraka, pastime at Mathura is going on. So in this way, this is going on eternally, Nitya Lila. So this is the end of this chapter, the very nice chapter. We can learn that how Lord is expanded to some range, that we can learn, we can know that how Lord has expanded himself to the Sankarsan, Sankarsan to the, Balaram, Balaram to Sankarsan, Sankarsan, four quadruple, Sankarsan, Pradyumna, etc. Aniruddha and Vasudeva again to Narayana, Narayana to second quadruple from Sankarsan to Mahavishnu. Then Mahavishnu to Garbhodaka Mahavishnu is Mahavishnu create this universe by glancing over the material energy. He created this material creation, and after creating the material universe, he entered innumerable material universe is created from the pores of this body. He entered into each and universe as Garbhodaka Vishnu, and from there he created the Brahma from the lotus flowers comes out. And from there Brahma is created. In Brahma, all the 14 planetary system and living entity has been created. Then Lord as the Kshirodakasai Vishnu enter into everywhere as a Paramatma. So in this way, whole universal creation has been created. And then also Lila Avatara, so many Lila Avatara Lord has come, Kurma, Matsya, we cannot count them. Then Guna Avatara Lord Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, different modes, predominating deity of modes of passion, ignorance, and goodness. Then we learn that the Manmantra Avatara, in Manmantra Avatara, Krishna has so many manus, innumerable manus in Brahma's day, Brahma's entire life, 500,000, 504,000 manus are there. And there are so many universe, so many Brahma, so it is not countable. Then we understood the Juga Avatara, there are four Jugas are there. Every Juga Lord incarnation, incarnate, white, red, blackish, himself he comes as a black, his own form, Krishna, and yellow color as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then Saktabesha Avatara, there are Saktabesha Avatara also direct, indirect, he comes as a direct Avatara as Rishabhadev and Kapil Dev, Kapilamun, Sesana, Ananta Ses, and indirect as Narada Muni, Kumaras, Brahma, Parsuram, so and so forth. So in this way, Lord has been enacting his pastime, his opulences, his Aishcharyas, his expansion, his power, his everything is very inconceivable and is very very powerful. So in this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke to Sanātana Gosvāmī about this greatness and grandness of Krishna, because wider the understanding, deeper the love. Krishna, we have to learn about the Tat Tattva. Krishna says, Janma Karma Chame Dibam Evam Jo Tat Tattva. If somebody knows me in truth, not just superficially, in truth, what is the real greatness? Of course, we cannot know the entire greatness, but howsoever it has been manifested by him, revealed by him, that much we can know. And know from the authority like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is very important. So that our appreciations, our respect, our reverence for Lord Krishna will be manifold increased, exponentially augmented. So on this note, we will stop here. We will continue next week the chapter 9 of opulences of Krishna's. Hare Krishna. Chaitanya Chaitamrita ki jai. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Srila Prabhupada.